today I'm here at Vintage Toy King in Ocala, Florida. It's a nice little toy store. I've been here several times. I haven't been here in a while, but every time I've come here, they always have something awesome. So I'm going to take you guys inside and let's check out what they have this time. Hopefully I'll find something I can buy. All right, see you guys in there. All right, we're heading in. They're located in a really small plaza in Ocala, Florida. All you got to do is use the mighty Google and you will get here too. So let's go inside.
Alright, so walking into the store, the very first thing we see is a bunch of Hot Wheels. If you guys are Hot Wheels collectors, just from my first glance in the store, you're gonna love this place. I never really got into them. I have a few of them, like the monster themed ones. As you can see, they have a bunch of vehicles of all kinds here, not just Hot Wheels. We even have a Walmart truck right there. But yeah, mostly Hot Wheels, and there's a lot of them, you guys will see. But this is the first thing we see when we walk into the store. We got a couple of Star Wars items up there already. This place is full of all kinds of toys, and you guys will see. Ooh, check those out up there. MASH figures from the early 80s, 1982 TriStar. Those are really nice, and as you can see, they're not too expensive. And I'm sorry about the lighting reflecting off the bubbles because they're in protective bubbles, but you can see there's some Battlestar Galactica and Buck Rogers, all stuff from the late 70s and early 80s. Here's a pretty cool Star Wars poster as we head into one of the many Star Wars sections. Actually, they have like a corner for Star Wars, but a lot of stuff. And up there we have that 90s Millennium Falcon and a lot of these reissued Star Wars toys, all packaged to look like the originals. I had a lot of this stuff, but I've since parted ways with it because I want to slim my collection down to just vintage stuff and the modern stuff that I'm really into, like horror. Down here we have some vintage Kenner Star Wars figures, which are pretty reasonably priced, if you ask me. Good filler figures. Don't think these come with accessories. They have a section. Here are the newer ones. These 12-inch figures I had a bunch of too, and I've since sold them all. I got rid of them at a show. Those electronic power effects figures are pretty worthless now. I have a few, but they're not even worth selling. It costs more to ship them than to sell them. Oh, check that out. That's awesome right there. Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes going at it. This is the very front of the store, kind of like on the side where the main counter is. Lots of random goodies. I'll show you guys these display cases in a little while. But up there is that Terrordrome with Godzilla wanting to smash it, and you have the box right behind it. That one is actually for sale. I know there's a USS flag in this store, or there was, and it's not for sale because I inquired about it years ago, so I'm sure we're gonna run into it at some point unless they took it home. Some Power of the Force figures. A man, the Imperial Dignitary. And there's Scareglow. Some of these big, gentle giant Masters of the Universe. All like upscaled originals. And Jaga. Here's Jaga. One of the most expensive Thundercats figures, other than Bengali, I think is the other one. Got that little Battlestar Galactica figure there loose, and I know that's a Mego Star Trek figure, who they used the same mold for the Lizard. The Marvel Lizard Mego from back in the day. Another look at that Terrordrome. And of course, Mask. One of my favorite childhood toy lines right there. I have a huge collection. I have Boulder Hill and all those things. A lot of the play sets. Some of these Legos, minifigures. Not sure if these are custom or original. They look like they could be either. And as promised, here's that display case, or one of them, in the front, holding the more expensive upscale stuff. There's the Kenner Star Wars figures that come with the accessories. A lot of them. And Jace and the Wheeled Warriors. The cartoon wasn't great, but man, that theme song kicked some ass. You can see these figures can get pretty expensive. Some of those full complete Joes, the Star Brigade, that one is pretty awesome back there. And we have some more Kenner Star Wars here. We have the Size Noodles band there. I got these so many years ago, I had no idea they'd gone up in price so much. I bought them when they were pretty cheap still. Here are some more complete Lego sets that are built. As you can see, some have the manuals and they're complete with no missing parts. I know Legos are expensive as hell when you go buy them at the store, so I'm sure these cost a pretty penny also. 85 bucks for that little thing right there. Legos, as great as they are, they're very expensive. Ooh, here's some Mego. The 12-inch Megos. Those are vintage also. I have both of those, but in the regular 8-inch scale that they came in. And there's Paul Stanley. Some Dukes of Hazzard stuff. That's from Dinosaurs, the TV show right there. Got some cool stuff here. Superman glass. Those little Garfield mugs, I always find them in garage sales. And as promised, a lot of Hot Wheels. These must be vintage or rare because they are behind the display case. I don't know much about Hot Wheels, but they have a lot of them here. Lots of vehicles in general. I think most of them are Hot Wheels though. Check this out. How often am I going to get to hold this? A vintage Yak face. One of the most sought after figures from the original line. Only because he's rare and expensive. I'm glad I got to hold him. There's a Man-O-Man, which I have on the card. And here's the Gentle Giants Yak face. The upscaled version. Of course, this one is new. But it's an exact replica of the original figure, just way upscaled. And then next to that, you can see we have some of the Power of the Force figures. And the Inhumanoids up there, that big Inhumanoids. Tomahawk. There's a lot of stuff here. The General Lee. I love the old school General Lee with the small figures. It was like the G.I. Joe scale. I had this tray as a kid. I actually ate in that pretty much every day in my childhood. On that, should I say. There's another Tomahawk hanging up there. There's that Snake Eyes. I know he's got a lot of glare on him, but he's a really cool figure. Oof, check that out. The Night Force whale. That's so cool. Expensive as hell too. One of those rare pieces. Anything Night Force. For those of you that collect G.I. Joe, you know how expensive they are and how sought after they are. The Hydrofoil. That's a complete Hydrofoil. The Moray. Pretty awesome. Take another look at that Inhumanoids figure. $350. Ooh, he's pricey. I know I'm spending a lot of time in this little corner, but there's just a lot to see, and I'm trying to show you guys as much of it as I can. So my apologies if you see anything more than you want to. Go pee or something. Some more bag G.I. Joes here. These are the, incomplete ones. They're great for army building, if you guys are into that, which I am. I like to buy multiples of each figure, set them all up. And this is awesome as hell right here. The box art, or actually the display, which is also on the box for the classified series. And of course, here's Storm Shadow, which I've never seen, so I'm buying this. I've found something to buy, and 35 bucks. That's a steal of a deal for Storm Shadow. He is a really cool figure. He's definitely coming home with me. I am not even putting him back on the shelf, because the decision has been made. Let me go put this behind the counter so nobody buys it. And Snake Eyes has sold and been replaced with a Cobra Bat. And I do like this Cobra Bat, but I don't like the fact that he's blue. I prefer the bats in black. They look so much cooler. Here are some original Star Wars figures with their cards and weapons. Not on the card, but you can still own the card with the figure. This one's on the card. Lumat. A lot of the Ewoks. I have those on my Ewok Village. I'll be posting a video soon with my display cases, and you'll see the Ewok Village there with all the Ewoks. The original stuff. And Major Blood, the foreign Major Blood. I have the foreign Roadblock on my office wall right now, just like that. And the box for the USS flag, so you know what? That flag is hiding somewhere here. And we're gonna find it. I'll be sifting through these guys to see if I can find anything for my army building. I love to buy multiple Joes to display together, mostly the Cobras. These are the newer ones down here from what I can see. Another look at that Terrordrome. Have a few videos on the Terrordrome on this channel. One where I take it apart and I show you guys how to replace some of those silo pieces in the middle. So I kind of take it apart and put it back together. If you ever need to do that, you can check that video out. It's on this channel. And of course, Ninja Turtles and Joes. There's Sergeant Slaughter. That's pretty awesome. Love those Playmates turtles. Those bring back a lot of memories. Wow, there are so many Hot Wheels here. I've been in here before and I don't remember this many Hot Wheels, so this must be something that they've recently started putting up. Then again, I haven't been here in almost a year now, but it definitely wasn't this plentiful. The Hot Wheels collection, that is. We got this sweet NECA 18-inch Jason. Back here in the front of the store one more time. Give you guys a quick look-see one more time at all these, that Oscar Mayer Wiener mobile right there. Here's some Joes and also some Star Wars figures with their accessories. These are in better shape than the ones in the baggies. So a little bit more expensive, but if you're a collector, of course, this is the kind of stuff you want to get. They all seem to be in pretty good shape. Oh, there's a Remco Dracula. Low light. Cobra Commander. I wonder if he has his gun. And he does. I lost the gun for mine. Most of my Joes are complete, but I lost his gun and I need to get it again. Nowadays it probably costs more to buy the gun than to get the figure with the gun. So every time I inquire about them at a show, like people are selling the accessory for the price of the both of them. So which superpowers right there, Batman and Robin. Some Joes with their file cards here. There's Lift Ticket, who is the pilot for the Tomahawk. Then we have, oh, sorry that this isn't focusing too well. I think it's the lighting, but yeah. You can sell their vintage Thundercats loose, no accessories. There's Panthro. Let's take a better look at these Black Series figures. These are great if you're a Star Wars collector for posability and display. Great sculpts on the faces. They come with great accessories. And they were sold at about the $20 to $25 price range at retail, so very reasonable for figures that are that detailed. So this is a little Star Wars corner, or at least where the bulk of the Star Wars stuff is. They have it all over the store, but this is where the most of it is right there. You can see this, I'm still in the very first room. There's the front door right there where we walked in. Just trying to give you guys a full perspective of what this place looks like. And I know I'm showing a lot of Hot Wheels, but it's more because I'm blown away that they have this many. It's crazy. And the Garbage Pail Kids, late to school. I have all these sets. There's actually a video on this channel you guys should check out if you're into Garbage Pail Kids. I did a little history of the Garbage Pail Kids, like documentary. A mini documentary, I would call it. Where I go over how they came out and how they came to be. Check this out. An early 2000s Toys R Us KB Toys display with the Care Bears. And it looks like they're electronic and they sing or something. Got some Micro Machines. And you know, if it doesn't say Micro Machine, that's not the real thing. One last glance at this front room. I'm going to give you guys a full perspective of what the store looks like when you first walk in. Oh, it looks like Scooby's on TV. But yeah, that's the front counter there, and you can see this is the big room we were just in. That's what it looks like. So let's take a look inside this room now. The Playmates Star Trek The Next Generation figures. I have a nice collection of these that I picked up in a lot. And I have mine loose with their accessories. I am more of a loose figure collector because I like to display them, I like to play with them, I like to be able to touch them. Even though I do buy figures in cards and boxes and don't open them, for the most part, if I really like a figure, I will try to actually acquire him loose and complete, so I can display him and pose him and do all these things. There's Gumby right there. We have a nice array of random figures here. Some of the Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles on the wall there. Pinocchio. And some like Art Deco Miami Vice looking Universal monsters here made by Reaction. Welcome back, Cotter. Collector's case of some kind, and we have Academy Award winner Gogeta right here. And there is the USS flag that I told you guys about, which I knew we would run into in here. And it's got Airwolf on it. That's pretty awesome. I know this thing is not for sale. You're going to see the sign right there in a second. And it's been not for sale since it's been here. That's actually Blue Thunder. Sorry, that's not Airwolf. That's Blue Thunder. Airwolf had the cool theme song. Blue Thunder had the cool cockpit windows. Both helicopters. And both kick ass. And there's Spidey making sure nobody fucks with the flag. That's a nice Spidey back there. He's towering over the USS flag. Here we have some of the commemorative Motu. I have a bunch of these and a few on my wall right now. some more Playmates turtles, but these are the ones from the Nickelodeon show, which I only saw a few episodes of, and I don't think it was that bad, but I never really got fully into it. Here's Metalhead, one of my favorite turtles from back in the day. I used to love the Playmates when he was all shiny. This one, not so much. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of this one. I need some bling on my Metalhead. And these two are from the movie, the first movie, Splinter and Shredder, and they look awesome. Those are really sweet. Here we have a shelf of Care Bears, Cabbage Patch Kids from what I saw, some Ghostbusters next to it. There's Raggedy Ann down there. Lots of plush toys. Some Smurf figures. I am not sure. Those look like the movie Smurfs, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And here's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. This isn't the 80s one though. This is like a PVC figure of some kind. I have the original one up now in my display case. Some Motu Revelation up there. Oh, it was Captain Lou right there. That was awesome. Superman versus He-Man back there. Looks like the Revelation Scareglow right here. Yes, it is. He looks pretty sick. Motu Classics, another great line. I subscribe, so I have them all. And the Ghostbusters Firehouse. That's something I actually still need. I'm a huge fan of playsets. I have a lot of the original real Ghostbusters figures, but I don't have the Firehouse, but I will acquire it. That's on my list. I'm going to a toy show this weekend, so that's why I'm not going to buy any big pieces today. Oh, the HasLab Sentinel. That thing is sick as hell too. My friend has that in his tattoo shop. Very cool. Reaction Jaws. Looks like a San Diego Comic-Con. And the Mezco Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Freddy. I am not a fan of that face sculpt, I'll tell you that. I don't like it much. I don't like that at all, actually. Some vintage glasses, which I also collect. I've picked up most of mine at a flea market or at a garage sale. There's the Castle Grayskull box, the original one back there. We don't want to go through this without mentioning that. Here, there's Orko, Motu Classics, and some original Castle Grayskull art here. It's pretty nice. Nice colors. Let's take a better look at this shelf with the Cabbage Patch Kids and Care Bears. That's pretty cool. Never seen that. Care Bears glass. Oh, I had that. I remember playing with that. I was very young when I had that. I think it's really old. I might have had it secondhand. Pizza Hut was known for distributing a lot of these licensed glasses. So a lot of them came from there. The Star Wars ones were Burger King. And He-Man had some plastic ones at Burger King. I remember that. And I have a few of them with like comic art around them. Check out this sweet Cabbage Patch Kids 100-piece puzzle right there. And we got Ert and Bernie here. This was owned by Zachary, as we can see on the box right there. We got Daffy with his sombrero, having a good time, jamming out. Another nice puzzle. Some Fisher-Price Little People stuff. Another collection I have. A lot of those. I don't have nowhere near all of them, but I have a nice big collection of those little people, which I also picked up at a garage sale years ago. I collect pretty much anything from my childhood. Even modern stuff, you know. Not sure what these are down here. And we've come to the Jurassic Park section. Jurassic World. Jurassic everything. Lots of dinosaurs here. Prehistoric animals. This dude looks pissed. Legos, more Legos. These are, I guess, new sets. Boxed. Ready for you to build. Ultraman. And the Covenant Energy Sword. Those of you who play Halo know that is the best weapon in the game. You hit somebody with that shit, they're going down. Some statues from The Hobbit. These look pretty sweet. Weta Workshops makes them. Some Ghostbusters. These look like the Maddie ones, or the ones that were by Maddie Collector. Oh, Nikolai Volkov. He has definitely seen better days. He is in bad shape. He's a good one to pick up to paint or customize with. Ooh, I love the 112 figures. There's the 89 Batman. This one I don't like too much. And he's $200, but still. He's got like a magnetic head. So there's no articulation to the head, which I know Michael Keaton couldn't move in the costume, and so it's true to the costume. But I just don't like the way, I hear his head falls off pretty easy. He's still a badass figure though. Put him back. Some of the reissued Masters of the Universe that we see at Walmart all the time have very vivid memories of picking up Leech, the original one, when I was a kid. I got him in a gift exchange in elementary school. Somebody gave him to me. So that was awesome. Digitino. I think these are part of those Mega Blocks, if I'm not mistaken. Some more Masters of the Universe stuff. There's Lex Luthor versus Skeletor. The Road Ripper. Who'd win that fight, huh? Lex Luthor versus Skeletor. My money's on Skeletor. That firehouse once again that I want so bad. That's why I keep filming it. It's like the superhero section over here. Some of those old school thermoses. Here we have some of the sweet reissued Mego figures from Star Trek, the original Star Trek. A lot of these weren't made in the original line of Mego, so it's nice that they re-released them along with the original characters. And the Star Wars Unleashed figures, those display real nice. I have the Luke one up there. His lightsaber like swishes around him, and the Darth Vader right above him is awesome too. But this figure is really nice. He displays beautifully. Vader's pretty sweet. He's way up top, so he's hard to get a shot of. I didn't have the Darth Sidious, but he looks like he means business with all that lightning all over him. But yeah, those Unleashed figures were really nice. Got some plushes here. You guys a better shot. More Lego stuff. Down here we just have random bins of individual figures. You can see there's Mask in there. Exactly what I said, miscellaneous figures. Which is what they are, just different lines, loose figures. Sometimes you'll find some goodies in these things though. They got a lot of G.I. Joe weapons and parts too. I remember finding a few wheels and things I needed for some of my vehicles here last time I was here. Not sure what this thing is, but it does look like the Metalhead chest plate, but it's not. But that's kind of what it looked like when I was talking about Metalhead earlier. It looked like that. Oh, Samurai Bebop is what this is. I remember this. Just taking a closer look at some of these cool figures. The Flash. That statue looks really nice. Here's a good look at Molar and Skeletor. That was like a parody thing done by the Motu Classics, Matty Collector. She-Ra's face sculpt is pretty nice on that Classics figure. It's coming back around one more time before we leave this room. Giving you one last glance at these shelves in the back. Some random bagged figures here. Strawberry Shortcake. The little PVC Smurfs, which of course we loved. Highly collectible. Lots of people just collect all of these, or as many of them as they can get their hands on. And there were tons of them made, I can tell you that. Carded superheroes and turtles here. I have a lot of these Lord of the Rings figures. And I picked up a big lot of this Dick Tracy line, carded just like that, real cheap at a convention about 6 or 7 years ago, and I still have them. These are the Kenner Robin Hood Bola Bomber. Which, fun fact, a lot of the Ewok Village stuff was used to create the Robin Hood Prince of Thieves movie toys, because since they both took place in the forest, all they had to do was add a little bit of different paint to the toys, and they rebranded it. Ooh, Teddy Scares. Spider-Man 2099. Love that comic book. Very cool. Figure looks awesome. Sentinel. One of my favorite stories ever in the X-Men is the graphic novel Days of Future Past, where they all get wiped out by the Sentinels in a simulation. And it's so cool. I highly recommend you read that book if you haven't. It's from the, I want to say late 80s, but very cool graphic novel. We got Chucky here, NECA Chucky. And Dr. Jones, made by Hasbro. Another big Godzilla. He's sitting high and mighty now. That Godzilla -1 movie was amazing though. So they deserve everything they got. Another quick look at the sealed battle wagon. Another look at these turtles, and there's some vintage superpowers carded up there. I remember the cards I used to get were the bigger cards, so I'm not sure if these came out afterwards, but they're definitely vintage. Very sweet. Secret Wars carded up there. Another great line from the 80s that I have a lot of. I'll be posting my display cases soon so you guys can see all these things, how I have them displayed at home right now. And we're almost done in this room. A few more things up here. There's one more room we need to go to, so let's take a walk back there. You guys get an idea now of what the store looks like with everything you've seen. So here's the last room we haven't been in. We have these little golden books. All of us had these as kids. Whoville. Controls a Tatooine skiff up there. I never had that. Fievel from An American Tail. Some 12-inch Ghostbusters up there. Those look sweet. Got Gonzo. Those are some nice figures. A Ringling Barnum and Bailey Circus Elephant plush. Oh, we got the Teddy Ruxpin picture show here in the box, and then we have a Teddy Ruxpin, and we have his companion. Forgot what his name is, but I don't have him. I do have a Teddy Ruxpin, and there's also a video on this channel where I fixed him. If you guys are interested in knowing what he looks like without his fur on, go check it out because he looks pretty creepy. Lots of Barbies. I have a nice selection of Barbies here. Cabbage Patch dolls right inside their box. Never removed. The plastic on those used to break a lot, like the little plastic used to break whether you kept them boxed, so when you see them without the broken plastic in the front, that's the one to pick up. Eeyore down there. Winnie the Pooh plush. We got a little Scooby. And do not play or ride on him. Only Scooby does the riding. Nice Star Wars Battlefront poster. That Skull Mountain box up there is really nice. Really sweet. Some vintage lunch boxes there. That looks like the Planet of the Apes cell too, the jail next to it with the chair, but I'm not sure. Anyway, that right there is sweet. That's an expensive lunchbox. Look at that, $600. It goes for a lot on eBay too, so it's one of the rarer boxes. I have that one. I have a big lunchbox collection too. A few videos on this channel with the lunchbox museum that I visited a couple of times, so check that out. Really cool art on those lunchboxes.
Well, that's a wrap for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're ever in Ocala, Florida, I highly recommend you check it out. Vintage Toy King. It's a tiny little place, not tiny, but it's a small place full of a lot of great big things. I have always picked something up every single time I come here. There's something for everyone, and you guys will definitely dig it. Please stay tuned to the channel. I'm changing things up. I promise you some awesome content. If you love this kind of stuff, stick around. If you don't love this kind of stuff, stick around. I love you anyway. I got some Toy Con vlogs coming up soon, some horror con vlogs, as well as some documentaries I'm working on on pop culture and the 80s in general. So stick around, love you all, and see you next time.